Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday evening. We are just a little over 24 hours from the klaxon being sounded on this transfer window, and it's all outgoings. Stay with us. Well, good evening / night, everyone. You're very, very welcome back to the Manchester United agenda. And this window has really been an interesting one. Ralph seems to be sanctioning loan after loan. And today's players aptly will be very much directed towards the defensive coach OMONDI Zuma, because two of them are in that area of the field. So I'm looking forward to the views there. We are also joined by the Manchester United fan from across the pond, over all the way from the US of A. He is currently being deprived of watching the international team play the Sorry Merchants from Canada. Yankoff Black, aka Connor, how are you doing?
I'll be a lot better if we get 3 points from this game against Canada, that's for sure. I'd love to be sitting top of the table at the end of today.
Well, fabulous intro, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'll take that every day. Whew, make me blush.
But how's your weekend been, lads? I suppose let's kick off. Are you missing the football? Has it been a slow weekend for you?
Well, for me,
Connor.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, hasn't really been too slow for me. Again, we've had the international break has been nice for me because I still get to watch, the United States with my dad, who is an American, who I'm going to be calling a traitor, saying it's going to be 2-0 to Canada. So I'll be calling him a traitor in a little bit for saying that scoreline. But it's been, I've been able to watch the international games. I've been watching a crap ton of AFCON. So for me, it's been not super slow because I've still been able to keep up with a lot of the games. I just love soccer. Or football. I'm going to call it football because I'm on with Englishmen right now. I love football in its purest form.
Whoa. Slow your roll. Englishman, excuse you?
Irishman as well. Okay. UK.
No! Whoa. Get your shovel and just keep digging, my friend, because I think we go over to Monday.
I forget you guys have the whole separation thing. Yep.
I love when it says soccer. It's it needs to be scrapped. I think soccer.
It probably does. It's football, but I love football in its purest form. I love the game of football. So anything I can watch, I love. I've watched A-League. I've sometimes watched the Indian League because I'm just bored and I want to watch some football. And I've watched the Indian League. I've watched everything. And so for me, it's not been really that slow because I still get football in its purest form, watching anything and everything that's going on.
Absolutely.
So my weekend, obviously I watched a really good game. I watched the ending of Derby, which was fantastic. They came back from 2-0 down. And considering I totally forgot they'd lost so many points, they'd been deducted points. And so it's all about survival for them. And I thought that was a decent game. And then after that, I watched the Cardiff Nottingham Forest. And I must admit, the standard's not really as good as Premiership. Obviously, that's why I did Championship. But I didn't really enjoy the game. I thought it was just like watching something from the 80s, to be honest. And then yesterday, I went and watched my local team, young rising ballers. These are all youth academy guys who've been dropped out of pro clubs who are trying to make it back into pro teams. And they're really talented. They won 1-0. And I've been working as well in between that as well. So I've been really busy and really looking forward to the show, though. What about you, Rebel? How's your weekend been?
Absolutely jam-packed. I was kept busy with jobs all weekend, so I cannot say that this is absolutely a relaxing moment to get back into the bar stool, talk about some football, and see where we are all at. But today, I suppose, the continuation of what has been a transfer window of loan moves. We have seen Martial leave, we have seen Diallo leave, and now it looks like Donny van der Beek, having looked like he was heading to Crystal Palace, has done a U-turn and is headed up to Everton, where a well-known English midfielder looks like he will be taking the reins, and that is Frank Lampard. Everton being the destination, And obviously, Donny will be going there with something to prove, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good move. I think it's absolutely jammy by the Toffees to slide into position there right when Crystal. I know Rich from Eagle Eyed Football was absolutely buzzing when he heard that they were in for Donny Van de Beek on loan. Was super hard pushing for them to get him. I know he's probably absolutely gutted at the moment that the Toffees have stolen it. I think it's a good move either way. He needs game time.
You know something. This is all about loan watch for the next few months. I'm going to be watching Donny like a hawk. He's not going to get away from me. He's going to be eyes on you. I want to see how he performs. I'm looking at the Everton side, their midfield. I know they've got Decore, they've got Gomez, a few other players as well. What position will he play? Will he be trusted in a flat midfield 6 or 8 role? He wasn't trusted in Man U. It's going to be really interesting to see him play. Like I watched the Rangers yesterday keep an eye on Amand.
He was fantastic. He was fantastic.
He was great. Maybe we can talk about that later in the show. But Donny going to Everton, I think when he weighed it up, he's going to be closer to home, as in Manchester. He's going to be playing under Lampard, who probably looks up to, from his age group, he probably looks up to Lampard as a great player. But then the same can be said about Vieira. But I think the main difference is when you look at Crystal Palace, they got a guy called Conor Gallagher, and I think they're two you can't. They're like you can't split them. They're just so alike. Donny and Conor Gallagher, really similar players. And I'm thinking maybe if I go down there, I don't want to be overshadowed by this guy and maybe drop to the bench like for like sort of thing. I've got more opportunity of getting a first team place at Everton.
Interesting toss there. And yes, what I did wonder though when Crystal Palace did go in for them, I was thinking, are Chelsea tempted to bring Gallagher back for the remainder of the season? But obviously that was not in the game plan. And Donny used his footballing brain and said, why would I go from a situation where I'm not guaranteed football at Manchester United and plop right into the same situation at Crystal Palace? And it probably would have been very damaging to his career if he failed to get on pitch in a loan move that they specifically sought him out for, because obviously he's covered here at the moment. Why would you go from cover to being cover elsewhere? It would not have made sense, in my opinion.
I think it's a tough job at Everton as well. Everton's not a slouch when it comes to their midfield. Allen, Decore, Gomez. They're not a slouch either, though, with their midfield. So don't be confused or don't misstep. It's still going to be a job for him to get into the midfield, no matter where he would have gone, whether that was Crystal Palace or Everton. He's still got a job to do to stay in that midfield, because neither are slouches when it comes to the midfield area with the players they have. But I think he does have more of an opening, as Decore and Allen are more of your defensive midfielders. And I think that's why they've gone for him, is because while they do have a very good midfield, Donny does bring that different aspect and that different type of player to the pitch for them. And so I think he will see minutes, but it'll be interesting to see, because there is people that are going to be trying to go for a spot when he does get to the starting 11.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you guys a quick question while we're on the subject. When Koeman was at Everton, he brought in a guy from Ajax. I can't remember his name now. But this guy is now taking over Donny's role in the Dutch national team. Was Claessens? Is it?
Klaassen.
Yeah.
Davy Klaassen.
Yes, Danny Klaassen, that's the guy. And they're very similar, him and Donny, very similar. And he's taken over in the Dutch national team. So maybe going to Everton, playing maybe behind the striker, as Klaassen did try to do, or maybe, like you said, playing in a midfield 2 with Allen and whoever, Decore. It's going to be really interesting to see where he plays and how he sets up. Maybe he can play in a Lampard role, one behind the striker, that sort of thing. Donny's got so many...
I could see him at a 10. We've said so much that, yeah. We said so much
guys,
that was who he's going to back up.
All eyes on Donny, please. Make sure you report in. Let us know how Donny's doing. Because if I miss anything from Everton, I want to know. Because he's really important. I think he'd be one for the future for Man United. It's just that we haven't seen enough of him over the last season or so to say whether he's good enough. All we can say, as we always keep saying, is, or maybe he's not doing it in training. But let's see him now. If he gets first team games, and let's sit back and watch. Say, yeah, glad he's coming back. Like Chelsea must be doing with Conor Gallagher right now.
Absolutely. Can I just say we have 15 in the chat currently. Thank you very much for joining us. If you can smash that like button and give us a notification bell, that would be very much appreciated. I know that you're all very much interested in hearing the transfer going on of Manchester United. But before we continue with the next set of outgoings, UK Strains has mentioned the ladies team and the debut of our former manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's daughter in I believe, a 2-0 victory
2-0
today.
victory in the cup today. Women's FA Cup came on 65th minute. Apparently did a decent shift. Ole and his wife were both in the stands. It was a fantastic game for the women. They're moving on
Is
to
she
the
a
next round with a
striker?
tidy win. I believe she
Is
is
she
as
Stu
well.
Pruitt? Like
Our ver-
Ollie?
Our very own Maisie has reported that yes,
Okay.
indeed, Ole's daughter is a chip off the All Black and a striker.
Wow, brilliant. Good luck to her.
She's I think she's only like 18, 19. She's rather young as well. So she's gone into this first team and she's got potential to really make her name. Of course, she is going to have the Solskjaer name. That does give her a little bit of a leg up, I feel. But
has she got a nickname like the Babyface Assassin, or is she like?
I'm not sure. I bet you Maisie, of course, Maisie, our resident women's league expert, will have more of a knowledge on that as me. But I haven't heard anything as of yet. But I do know that they pretty much used the Ole Solskjaer chant for her as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And very interestingly, Maisie did inform me earlier on today that they are very much using the United way in the women's team at the moment. Solskjaer's daughter, I believe, is the third youngster to be brought through under the current manager of the Manchester United women's team. So it is great news to see the women's team thriving in competition at the moment.
Especially after last summer.
Just briefly, slightly off topic, Anthony Herbert has asked, Mr. Monday Juma, are you doing any more of the boxing?
Okay, if you want it, all right, it's coming, definitely, yeah. What it is, we've had a few technical difficulties, but we will be coming back with the boxing very, very soon, and you'll be the first to hear about it, Anthony. You know, so yeah.
Gypsy King's going to continue his reign.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I mean, Connor knows his stuff. He can come on the show too. But yeah, boxing will be back very soon.
Sweet.
Very good, very good. Now, it is the season of outgoings, it seems, at Manchester United, and there's 3 more players linked with loan deals. We'll obviously dissect them down one by one, but the aforementioned players are Dean Henderson, linked with Newcastle United, Phil Jones, heading across the water to France and to play for Bordeaux, and the third one is, well, it's actually not so much a loan deal as more being unhappy. That is one Jesse Lingard, who has had 2 loan deals denied to him in this transfer window, believed to be Spurs and West Ham, and he's believed to be very unhappy at the club because he's not getting the minutes. But let's deal with Dean first, and I know to my right is a outstanding supporter of Dean Henderson, and he'd be very disappointed if he goes to Newcastle. But what are the implications for Manchester United? Because if anything happens to David De Gea, we are dropping down to a player that has only played 1 Premier League game for Manchester United and is probably seen better days in terms of his career.
That's the risk you're going to take. Is it Tom Heaton you're talking about? I think it was half a game. Did he come on at half time for one of the games recently?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's half a game he's had. I don't know if that qualifies as a whole game just yet. But yeah, Tom Heaton, but he's decent. I mean,
he's there for a certain reason, and he fits the role of what he's there for. I think that, you know, with how De Gea is playing, if Henderson does go, I don't think I'm too worried. I honestly don't. I think Heaton, yes, he is seen as that third keeper, but I think he's still a decent keeper. It's not like he's this terrible keeper.
The only thing for me is that Henderson, I'm a bit disappointed. He's been messed around, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He was offered a new contract. I think with that came some sort of agreement that maybe you'll be playing a lot more. And last season, we started to see the making of him. He was the Premiership starter, and De Gea was the Europa League guy. But starting the season, there's been a lot of talk about he was injured to start the season, so De Gea came in. Maybe it would have been Henderson's time. Since then, he hasn't got a look in, and it's really hard for keepers, isn't it, to get a look in when you're 2 top keepers like that. If someone's on the roll, and especially De Gea has been playing pretty well. Everyone's raving about his sort of camera saves and point blank saves and all that kind of thing. And we've had a few clean sheets as well. So I can't fault him. I'm just disappointed for Henderson because I thought he was the future for Man United.
Absolutely. I suppose so. You could argue, though, that Henderson's situation at the moment is by misadventure. Unfortunately for him, he did miss the opening month of the season with COVID, which was an absolute bag for him. So he started a month behind everyone, missed all the training, and unfortunately for him, De Gea put in those highlight performances that you've mentioned, and pretty much sewed up the number 1 jersey because you could not drop him in the type of form that he was in. So that leaves us now with a situation where he's looking to make his name, grab that number 1 shirt, because I presume he has aspirations to challenge Pickford in the World Cup situation coming up in the winter of this year. So it is vital for him to get games if he has any hope of making that squad. But then we come forward slightly. We're looking at our centre-back situation. We have an Eric Bailly who's been known to get injured. We have Varane this season who has been picking up a lot of injuries. Maguire, since the back end of last season, has also been slipping a few injuries, which is concerning. We hadn't seen that from Maguire in his career to date before that. And that left Victor Lindelof. So if we allow Phil Jones to leave, who you could say is your safety centre-back, are you kind of treading the wire a bit thin? And I'm going to start again with the defensive coach, if you don't mind, Connor, because I know he's really invested in our centre-backs.
Yeah, I'll be very quick here. I like what Ralph's doing, regardless. And we did a show on this recently saying about the voids that we might have at the end of this transfer window. And is that enough with the FA Cup and Champions League going forward, And I think we're all right at centre-back. I know you're saying about the injuries, but when we got someone like Mengi, am I pronouncing it correctly? Mengi coming through from the youths.
I've now been loaned.
I think he's solid enough. And I think this is what we've got to start doing, giving opportunities to the youngsters. Like we said, we've seen with Elanga, and it's a good opportunity for these guys. I think Mengi, whenever he stepped up, he's done all right for us. So I think this will give him super confidence to say, all right, guys, we have 3 mainstays and Mengi is back up, and Mengi will be training sharp and catching eyes with Ralph in training, with sweat beads, everything, saying, yeah, I'm on this, So I'm happy about that. I don't mind. Good luck to Phil Jones. It's an odd move, Bordeaux. I've never really known someone to go to Bordeaux.
Except for the fact that Mengi's not in the club.
Yeah, Mengi's
on loan.
All right. I take that all back.
Mengi's on loan with Birmingham. Mengi's currently at Birmingham City. He's going to be matching up with Chong once Chong is back from injury. So he's currently on loan with the Championship club at the moment. So we are literally down to 4. If we're talking about an academy player who should be asking for minutes, it's actually Will Fish who should be asking for minutes. We did see him a little bit at the end of last year with Wolves. He did play in the Wolves game. I think he's a tidy little player. I've watched the academy. I think he's a decent little player back at center back. He's made his way up the ranks rather quickly, honestly, and has turned into basically our main center back now that Mengi's moved up to kind of more of the loan / begging for first team minutes player. Will Fish has taken that role as the top center back that we have in the academy. So I think this is a time for our cup games, especially we might see it against Middlesbrough, where we rest one of our center backs. We may see Will Fish come in and do a shift. And I think he can. Against the lower teams, I think he's a player that next year will be loaned out to go get minutes. But this year, I think it's a time for him against the lower teams, say at Norwich, where we need someone to rest, or a Middlesbrough, where we have a lower division cup tie. This is a time where Will Fish should be getting minutes. We cannot rely on 4 guys to go when all 4 have been struggling with injury issues, not only this year, but last year. We saw Lindelof last year with the back injury, held that for a long time, had that back injury. Bailly's always a head case, and it's very, very tough to keep him fit. Maguire's been shocking, and Varane's had multiple injuries that have kept him out for months at a time. So I do honestly think that we do need to bring somebody in the next 24 hours. Can we do that? I don't think so. I think we left it to the last 24 hours, and that's too late. If we are going to let Phil Jones go, it needed to be January 3rd so that we have the whole month to replace him and get somebody in on loan or buy a new center back, like Botman or Badashile from Monaco. But now that we've left it the last 24 hours, I think this is a bad move purely because we're now left with depth that's not there.
Do you know what, though, Connor? You've led into a very interesting counterpoint that I was going to make for on Monday, and that is we are letting out players that are on the fringes of our squad, but unfortunately for us, due to loan deals that were done at the start of the season and a couple that were done early January, the players in the youth area that would have been brought in to cover those fringe players are no longer at the club either. So we've got a vacuum in between what's available and very, very raw, inexperienced players. So you're looking at the likes of your Zidane Iqbals, your Savages, and all these players to cover positions when they have very little top-level football game time in their legs.
I'd call back Garner and I'd call back Mengi right now. Honestly, I really wish we hadn't loaned out Mengi, and honestly, right now for midfield cover, I'd be calling back James. I mean, I think James Garner should be starting for us, or at least in the first team next year. But I'd be calling somebody back. I really would. I'm really worried about the depth from this team at all levels.
I hear what you're saying, but when you mentioned Fish, Will Fish, sorry, I think
Here
that's
come
adequate.
the men
That's
in black.
I think that's more than adequate. I didn't know Mengi had gone out on loan.
Yeah, Will Fish is currently he's 18.
That would do for me. I mean, look at it. Remember when Bellingham was at Birmingham and everyone was saying, "Oh, if he came, the reason he come to Man U because he probably thought because of his age he can't play just yet, but if he goes and starts for a top team in Germany." See what I'm saying? So I think it's an opportunity. If you're 18, you're man size and you've got the ability, you can do it. There's no limitations to these guys. I think Will Smith, like you said, that he did play.
Will Smith.
We're actually, and the funny thing is, I forgot to mention this because I'd actually forgot to mention this. We're actually really lucky to even have Will Fish at the moment. He was loaned out to Stockport at the beginning of the summer. We recalled him. We recalled him on the 7th because he only played 2 games.
Ah, I see.
No, he'd only played for a couple of games and then he's been recalled on the 7th.
Before we go any further, and I'm going to ask OMONDI to just give us a flavour of the comments there in a minute because we have some very wonderful supporters following the chat tonight. We have missed out on a player that has been talked about very much so during January, and that is a player that OMONDI was very excited by from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Zakiri looks like he's on his way to Juventus for €5 million. We let a matter of €5 million scare us away from getting a midfield reinforcement. And Tottenham are benefiting from that acquisition because they have signed a very capable midfielder on the back of a very capable right winger. So our Champions League challenge for the top 4 is getting ever more difficult. So OMONDI, take away some comments for us there.
Okay, the first one that caught my eye, which I totally agree with. I was just going to say, hi Matthew, hi Mark, Edmund, UK Strains. This one, football, not soccer. Okay?
Yes.
Big up Niall, big up Devils United TV, big up Talk MU. Let's go.
Allow it. I'm American. I've grown up on it.
Here we go. Donny van der Beek. He said they will flourish under Frank Lampard. Watch how good he is. So that's some confidence there. Let's go down. Here we go. How you doing, Anke? He says, in Lampard, I genuinely believe he'll thrive. He's made the right choice, in my opinion, as Palace Gallagher has that role. Okay, great minds think alike. We said the same thing. Mede says a few things. Let's see. Sorry, just going through. It's true that Donny and Gallagher are similar, but perhaps Vieira wants him to play a deeper role. Is that with Will Hughes? Is Will Hughes gone there?
Yeah, Will Hughes has currently gone from Watford to Palace at the beginning during the summer.
Okay, and OMONDI just said exactly the same thing. Yeah, that's it. Right, we're on the same page there. We're on the same page. Just going through again, Clysons as well. And Kit, man. Yes, we are brothers from a different mother. That's no doubt about it. Let's have a look at these comments now.
Kamara is still available, but I don't think we're going to get him through the line in 24 hours.
Okay, yeah. So there's issue here about Zakaria, going from 3 million. He thinks it was to. Do you think we missed out there, as Rebel was saying, and people talking about.
Oh, whoa! Phil Jones' move to Bordeaux is currently off.
Oh,
I literally just got the notification. It's been broken.
Any reason why it's off?
He's not assured that he's going to be getting the playing time.
Okay.
Just broken. Literally, I have it. Okay, I'm going to cut out my thing here. Just literally at the last minute, Phil Jones moved to Bordeaux off at
we
current
can sign
time.
A big sigh of relief because our defense will be a bit more secure.
I think that saves it, yeah.
Jackie, how you doing, Jackie? She said Henson offload for his own good and playing time. That'd be good for him. Yeah, so a lot of agreement here.
Zakaria's. I'm a Borussia Mönchengladbach fan. They're my favorite team in the German league. It's a huge miss. It's a huge miss for the club.
Would you
All
believe
right.
I've been to their
Oh, sorry,
stadium
one
twice?
more about the defence. I've heard several times from Bath Times, heard several times, Tunzabi can't be recalled.
He can't. They
Where's
just loaned him back out
Tunzabi?
again. He's
Where's he
he's
gone?
in Italy. He's in Italy. He
Okay.
can't be recalled. We just loaned him out.
Okay.
Just on
So,
Borussia
and
Mönchengladbach.
gone away. Yeah. So sorry, guys. Thank you very much for the comments, guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming in.
Would you believe I've been to their stadium twice because I did a bit of a football tour over in Germany. I got to see the Yellow Wall in Dortmund, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and
wow.
I've been to Schalke. So some
Schalke is a tiny
amazing,
team as well.
Big stadium, isn't it, Schalke?
massive stadium,
Massive.
indoor atmosphere, very warm, very hostile. Absolutely amazing hearing the fans chanting there.
Rebel. Who's Schalke's derby? Schalke derby was with who?
Schalke, there's a load of them actually together, would you believe? Mönchengladbach, Dortmund, they're all within an hour's train of each other.
They all don't like each other. They all don't like each other.
But that does lead me to a player by the name of Dembele, and I believe our American correspondent has just told us that there's absolutely zero contact from Manchester United for Dembele in this window.
Yep, it's been confirmed in the last couple minutes. So 23 minutes ago, from Fabrizio Romano himself, Manchester United are not interested in Ousmane Dembele whatsoever. He will not be. So basically, he's going to PSG. Exactly as Marcus just said, he's off to PSG. I don't see Dembele going to United. I see him only going to join up with his buddy Messi at PSG. PSG's got all the money in the world to do it. Do I think it's a great move? Not really. I think that Dembele is an ambulance, and he's going to just end up taking up a spot on their injury table. But I'm happy that we're not getting him. I think even if we are trying to get some more reinforcements for the front line, he's not the one to go to for it.
I'm sorry to
in
do this
theory,
to you.
this guy costs like 100+ million. He would be like, what, going for free? That's a great deal for most people. But when you really scratch the surface, there's a lot of issues there that we don't really want. And I think I'd rather leave the gap open for someone like Ahmad or one of these guys to come in and take that role. We've already lost.
Hannibal's going to be coming back. Hannibal's coming back from AFCON. It's been rumored that he's going to be getting first team minutes and joining the first team straight away now that he's back from Tunisia duty. So I think, and of course, Tunisia's just fired their head coach. Their manager's just been sacked this morning.
Speaking of international football, I'm just looking for some confirmation. I have seen the chat from Box. The breaking news that USA are losing to Canada. Can you confirm?
Yeah, no, can't confirm. It was just a bad break. It's just a bad breakdown.
Rebel, you're something else.
Hey, wait, can I just ask?
The thing is, Connor must have known that as well.
I saw the goal. I saw the goal. But Rebel, I'll pose a question for you, Rebel. Rebel, where's Ireland? Oh wait, Ireland's not going to the World Cup at all, are they? Oh, how'd that go? How'd that go for you guys?
Yeah, like a pint of Guinness, down heavy.
Counter attack there, fast break.
Bazunu's crying into breaking news. Bazunu's crying into a cereal because he's playing for Ireland.
But that does lead us into the situation that we talk about Jesse Lingard. It is believed that he's been denied loan moves to both Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham in this window.
Good.
Newcastle were also believed to be looking at him, but were priced out by the alleged clause that they wanted a survival bonus payment should Lingard have kept them in the Premier League. Is it a case that we cannot really look to Lingard to dig us out of some of those busier fixtures once we have your FA Cup, Champions League and Premier League games hitting us one after the other, not to mention the fact that we do have a number of games to catch up in the Premier League as well, because we did miss a number of games when Carrington was shut down. Is the squad starting to look a bit light with all these loan moves?
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, it was not Jonathan David that scored. It was Lorraine, who's basically their GOAT. But for me, I kind of agree with this. I would have hated him going to both West Ham and Tottenham. I think it's stupid when you're fighting with a team for a spot to loan a player to them, period. I don't care if he's been riding the bench for 2 years. You do not loan a player to a direct rival for spots like we have with West Ham and Tottenham for top four. You can't do that. You can't. You just can't. It's stupid. We saw what he did with West Ham last year. He brought West Ham in nearly into the top four. We can't let this happen again. Newcastle, I completely understand. I like, as much as people can say it's money hungry, I understand how they're kind of going for this. They're trying to get a $16 million fee because they know as soon as his loan ends, he's going to be out the door because his contract's done. So it's basically they're selling him to Newcastle. They're basically selling him to Newcastle for $60 million because I think it'll be a loan move that ends up basically just where he signs on a free. So might as well get $16 million from wages covered, loan fee, and a bonus if they stay up. Then just a loan fee of $3 million covering the wages, and then he just leaves on a free and just signs a contract with Newcastle in June.
There's a couple of points here. It's not always fair for me. With what you said about Tottenham, that really worries me. They've made 2 additions: centre midfield, the Uruguayan guy from Juve, and the Swedish guy from Juve, the right-footed inside forward. So that's a threat, I think, for us because when you look at their team now, they're going to be really buzzing and go aiming for that top 4, and they got games in hand as well. So I think we should keep Lingard, just keep him sweet. I know Rebel was telling me earlier that he's a bit upset and he maybe might not want to stay or hang around. But if we could play him maybe as backup for Sancho, maybe
he should be playing Middlesbrough straight up. He should be playing in the Middlesbrough game. I think he should start Middlesbrough in the FA Cup. And this is a game that you start. This is the game that you start youth and kind of fringe players to give them. This is your keep them happy games, as I'll kind of say a bad term, but it's your keep them happy games. You're going to keep the fringe players happy by throwing them a biscuit every once in a while, saying, "Here's the start against Middlesbrough."
And also, I know it's transfer window, and we're talking about all the players going out, but we've also got Pogba coming in, and so we keep Pogba, keep Lingard. They're guys who know the club, who are homegrown players. I think that's really important because they're ready-made, they're ready to go.
Can I just say, number one, bad time. I like the way you think about sending Lingard to Burnley to do a certain team in. That is wonderfully devious, and I love it. Box, yes, they did get...
Burnley's being rather feisty. They're more feisty than we are in the transfer window right now.
Anthony Herbert, unfortunately, with regards to the camera, I can't sustain it on my internet connection at the moment, so that is why you get the wonderful PFP that you see before you. If I did put it up, you would be seeing so many misframes and jumps. It just would not be sustainable, unfortunately. So I am waiting on it. I am waiting for fibre to home to arrive in our area, and that should then solve the issue. But at the moment, unfortunately, my ISP is telling me there's nothing that we can do. A bit like when Rafa Benitez managed Everton. There was nothing that he could
I will
do.
say, quick thing, thoughts on the fact that it sounds like Eriksen has cleared everything. He's cleared all tests. He's cleared fitness. Eriksen looks to be confirmed to Brentford on a 6-month contract.
Good luck to Eriksen.
I really, this is one where I'm really happy for him. I am really over the moon for him and his whole entire family after what happened this summer. It's so good to see him find a club that's going to be able to take him in and give him playing time.
I do wish him well. And just on Tottenham, I have seen that Gill, the summer signing that they had so much talked about, is gone. He's out of here. He's heading back to Spain on a loan deal.
And Dembele is also gone as well. And Dembele has gone on loan to Lyon. He's arrived in Lyon as of basically in the last hour. He's arrived in Lyon to complete the move right before the last day of the transfer deadline to complete a loan move out of Lyon. Loan. Pure loan move. I don't think, let me double check my sources. I do not believe it's one with a buy option. So it's an agreement on loan with a buy option. So potential for Dembele to be going back to his home country of France at the end of this year if he impresses Olympique Lyonnais.
And his old club as well, isn't it?
And his old club, yes.
It worries me a little bit about Tottenham. Conte
making lots of moves.
Yeah, making some real moves. So we can't mess about. Let's get this top 4, guys. It ain't a joke anymore.
I do want to plug our big super event tomorrow. We are going live from 7 p.m. right through to the clacks and sounds on the transfer window at 11 p.m. tomorrow, giving you all the latest transfer news. And yes, we will even start talking about big name players that are signing for rivals. We will not discriminate tomorrow. We will be looking at all the action in the transfer deadline day final hours. And that in mind, one that has seemed to have cropped up in the last hour and a half is that Manchester United are making a late move for Yves Bissouma. of
Yep, I've
Brighton.
heard that. I've heard that.
The question is, even if it is realistic and true, is it something at this stage of the window with 26 hours left that can get done?
I really don't see anything but a loan move, honestly. If it was something where we're saying, "Hey, give him to us on loan," I'd understand. But there's no chance that we're going to be able to actually get anybody on a permanent at this juncture. Like I said when we were talking about the whole Phil Jones thing, we need to really be getting people coming in for medicals last week, last week, or the beginning of the week. You can't be waiting until Sunday to be calling people for a fee
Oh, no, it always happens every window. It's
every
always the
time.
last. That's why we're doing a show tomorrow. It's
Yeah.
always the last day, the last minute that these deals go through, and I don't understand why they leave it so long. You said it
Well,
from the
let's
start of the
hope.
show, Rebel. I just don't get it at all. But
I will keep my fingers crossed.
regarding Basuma, I think he's ready.
Yeah.
His form has sort of dipped recently the last few weeks. Not many people have been talking about him. I don't know how much they're talking. They said 50 million in the past, but I like the guy, and I think he would be a good fit for Man United going forwards. Good on the ball, exactly what we need, and breaks up the play, and really dynamic, physical beast out there. So I like
I will
the player.
say this: if
I'm not
he does,
overexcited.
whoever we get on the last day of the transfer deadline day, they better have as big of an impact as Bruno Fernandes did when he first came in.
Okay,
That's
so
all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. I am praying on my knees that they have just as big an impact as Bruno Fernandes did when he came into the club. Because if that happens at center back, that happens in midfield, I've seen the light. Top four is ours. Let's get as deep as we can in the Champions League. Let's run it.
Rebel, what do you think about Basuma? Would it be a good addition?
I do believe that there is potential in him, but at the same time, if we were really looking at this player, why were we not targeting him from the start of this window? It does seem that all of a sudden they've realized that they're letting Johnny go, and now they're looking at their depth and they're saying, oh no, we have all our younger players out on loan. We are cut short. We have Matic, who's getting to the peak end of his career. We have Scott and Fred, who are covering 90% of our games at the moment. We have an unsure return date in a Paul Pogba. And if anything happens to Bruno Fernandes, Pogba's role then very much changes from being able to rotate with Fred and Scott and Matic to being the prime attacking central midfielder in that midfield three, which does fill me with concern. But the question is, at this stage, I'm going to ask the chat, do you think we can get anybody across the line right now with 26 and a bit hours to the knockdown of that transfer window deadline? Now, you can work on deals with a deal sheet after 11 o'clock as long as it's submitted on that specific deal sheet to the Premier League. So there's obviously an opportunity to go with a highlighted deal beyond that. Box is saying no straight away. And then there's a number of people, Jackie and Battime, I think, are not too much fans of Basuma. But have we spited ourselves with all the loan deals that we've allowed now? And is this going to affect our top four chances?
I think we've bitten our nose to spite our face. Pure and simple. We've bitten our nose to spite our face.
I'm not so sure. I think if you get a ready-made player in, even if it's just the one player, it has to be the right player. And I think Basuma's just new to me. I haven't had time to really assess it and really think about it. But I think he's a good player, good Premiership player. I think he doesn't go to ground. He pinches the ball, breaks up play. Exactly kind of what we need. So I'm down with Basuma as long as we don't spend too much money and we don't isolate players like Hannibal and Zidane, who I think should be getting opportunities. As Connor was saying earlier, maybe in the Middlesbrough FA Cup. We need to see these players getting games. You know, I'm not too concerned. We can play one or two youngsters in these games. But yeah, with the balance, like you said, it's been a bit unbalanced with all these loans going out and losing players. So maybe one signing that doesn't, but just as long as it doesn't block up access to the first team for other youngsters coming through. Like you said, Garner coming next season. Connor said Garner could come in the side next season. Don't block him off by bringing in a big name player and thing, unless you're planning on getting rid of Matic, you know? So we need to get that balance. So I think Basuma sounds okay with me.
West Ham making a move at the moment. and
Go on.
Arsenal as well. Both Arsenal is looking to go get Alvaro Morata, but rumors are they do not have enough time to go get him. Apparently, they are going to run out of time if they do try and go get him. And also, just literally breaking the last 15 seconds, West Ham pushing hard to sign Benfica striker Darwin Nunez, who scored 20 in his last 41 games for the Portuguese club.
So that being said, so everybody that is fighting for that fourth spot in the Champions League is strengthening, and Manchester United are letting players leave on loan. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot. You have one position. If we could get a player in, what position would you be absolutely delighted with seeing reinforcements in tomorrow if it could be delivered?
Defensive midfielder.
For me, I think I'd go for Bazuma. And I've had time. I'm thinking about it now. I think, perfect. He fits the bill. No need to sort of get going. He's already, ready for the Prem. And I think, he'd fit the bill. So if he spends 30 million maximum, get him in. Because we've been talking about, we've missed out on a 3 million, what was it, from Zakaria, similar sort of player, going to Juve.
Going to kill me.
And you can think, well, if you're not really, why not spend that much on him? We were talking about Neves halfway through January. If that was the flavour of the month, especially after them beating us. But if it's Basuma, I think that's the position we need, and I think it's the ideal player we need. I don't think we need a defensive midfielder. Just Basuma, he breaks up the play. He's not someone who goes to ground, as I keep saying. He tackles well. He's got physical strength, and I like him. I think he would really be a good fit, especially for us being mobile as well, and the way we play and under Ralph. So I think, go for Bazuma, guys.
Just on Donny van der Beek before you do come in on this one, Connor. Donny van der Beek's Everton loan will be made official on Monday morning. Fabrizio Romano claims that all relevant paperwork has been signed by United and the Toffees, and the move will be confirmed tomorrow, with Everton also set to unveil new boss Frank Lampard. So that is Donny van der Beek's move, pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered, according to Fabrizio. So, Connor, are you in the same mindset as the distinguished gentleman Amondi Juma? Would you take Bazuma tomorrow?
Yes. And it's because I think we just need anybody. I'm still not 100% sold on Basuma on the field, or really off the field as well, with a little bit of trouble he's had at one point, even though he's now, of course, back out and balling out again. Do I think he's fully the answer? I'm not sure. Am I completely sold on him? I'm not sure. I'm never fully sold really on anybody until I've seen them play for United, because of the crap that we have, the toxic cesspool that we have in this club. But I do think that I'd love to see him come in tomorrow, because I think it brings another player in that's going to do a job and hopefully put in a shift and brings a style of play that we really do need in the starting 11.
Very good, very good. Before I get Amondi to take away some comment for us, can you give us a score update from that pivotal World Cup qualifier between the USA and Canada?
It's still 1-0 in the 35th, but the US have just got a penalty on the 20 yards out.
Okay, let's stay with Yank on this one. Give us a TalkMU match analysis of this penalty kick.
It's going to be a decent one. We have some pretty decent penalty takers. We have Christian Pulisic, we have Serginho Dest, and we have Yunus Musa and Brendan Aronson all lining up for this. It's interesting. It's basically almost dead even, a little bit to the left-hand side, about 20 yards out. It looks like it's going to be Christian Pulisic who's lining up to take it. He's going to strike it and hit it a couple yards over the bar, out for a goal kick, and it's another missed opportunity. The United States has been really dominating this game, but Canada has been doing well with basically playing prison yard soccer. Prison yard football. Correct myself before I go.
Soccer.
The Canadian team has really been their game plan is to basically foul us as much as possible. There's only been one yellow card for about, I think, 9 fouls by Canada now. So it's been a lot of very, very physical game. The refs basically letting them play on when it's really not helping us, but it's helping Canada a lot. But besides that, this team Canada's being dominated by the United States. It's a lucky goal. It was a really bad save, a blunder by the keeper, Turner, who's on his way to Arsenal, actually, in the next 2 days. He'll be, after this, going straight to Arsenal in the summer. But I think this is going to still be a game that we can come back and we're dominating the game. If we keep up this, I think we've got it.
So to sum up, what you're saying is the penalty taker did not have his Weetabix this morning.
No, definitely did not. He definitely did not have his Weetabix. He definitely did not have his protein shake.
Very good. Monday, take away some comments.
Matthew Bassett said Bruno wasn't a Premier League proving when we bought him in January, but he came and changed our season. Good one here from Barton. He said he's fine with Pelestri. Ahmad, Pelestri had a senior debut for Uruguay the other day, didn't he? Type signings, but we shouldn't be going for the first team player with no permanent manager in January. The likes here. Come on, guys, stop what you're doing. Press the like button if you don't mind, please. Let's get these likes up. All for the Man United agenda. We love you guys. Box says, how many minutes has Pelestri and Ahmad had since they've joined, which is an issue as well. That's why they're both out on loan, I imagine. So when we were talking about what sort of position we need, Pat Lawless, he said he wants a DM all day. There's a little joke here. It started off, unless it's Rice or Bellingham, said Mark Edmund. He's not really bothered to bring anyone in. And then I think Pat Lawless came with something about...
Basmati.
said the only rice we're getting in January is the microwave stuff, which really made Jackie laugh and myself. And then Box comes in with basmati rice, double pivot. So the rice jokes are coming true.
Fantastic.
And here's a classic name for you. Clint Dempsey's taking a pen, says Box.
Clint Dempsey just got enshrined into the Hall of Fame this morning.
Deserved. Very good player. Talented.
So, that being said, I think it's time to draw a close to tonight's proceedings. We have looked at what has been the transfer window of loans out from Manchester United. We will, of course, be back tomorrow, starting with MAISEY, discussing all the deadline day moves, and we will be sitting here hopeful that Ralph can get some deals across the line to bolster our squad into that closing Premier League battle with Arsenal, with Tottenham Hotspur, with West Ham United to make Champions League next season. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Yank, I wish you all the best in the second half of the US of A versus Canada soccer game over there across the pond. And
you know what? I'm going to enjoy looking. I'm going to look up right now. Let's see, Ireland World Cup qualifying table.
Boom.
Love it.
Well,
everyone, Rebel, thank you. Great, you're a great host.
Good, cheers.
And I will see you tomorrow, Rebel, because we got a slot at 9 o'clock. Is that right? For our transfer show. What time are you on, Connor?
We're at 8. I'm at 8 with Solo.
At 8. So make sure you guys tune in. It's going to be
handing it off to you.
We're kicking off with MAISEY at 7. Solo at 8 with Connor. Myself and yourself on Monday at 9. Then at 10, we have the team that has given the anchor leg, the much-long squad, TalkMU, and Mr. Ice Cool himself, Mr. B, will be in the house bringing it all into the wee hours of the transfer deadline day. So stay with us here on the Man United agenda. But for tonight, thank you, everyone. We'll see you again soon.